Today's news. Today's news.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. The inauguration of Donald John Trump. In November, he completed a historic political comeback.
We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and every single day I will be fighting for you.
And today, President-elect Donald Trump will be sworn in as the nation's commander-in-chief for the second time.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
From CBS News, here's correspondent Steve Caton.
And a pleasant good morning. Within the hour, Donald Trump will take the oath of office as the nation's 47th president, a return to power for the man who was the 45th president. It's a cold day in Washington, temperatures in the mid-20s, wind chills in the single digits. And, of course, in anticipation of that on Friday, the ceremony was moved indoors to the Capitol Rotunda. That was last done for Ronald Reagan's second term when it was 7 degrees back in 1985. So instead of thousands witnessing it firsthand today, the audience inside will be in the hundreds, and they're filing in now. Let's go first to CBS's Stacey Lynn on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Stacey.
Good morning to you. Yeah, there is a sea of red, white, and blue in the Capitol Rotunda, all filing in right now. Some of them got the prime real estate. There's only about 600 seats in the 7,200 square feet of space under the dome. That is where President-elect Donald Trump will get sworn in and deliver his inaugural address. And Steve, we heard this morning they were apparently trying to fit every Republican lawmaker in there with the other VIPs, but space, of course, like you said, is limited. So some of them may have to watch downstairs. That's where the overflow will watch from Emancipation Hall in the Capitol Visitor Center. They've set up 1,800 folding chairs there to witness it all on Jumbotrons.
All right, Stacey, we've seen a lot of people enter the building, a lot of members of the would-be Trump cabinet, provided they get confirmed. Tech billionaires Elon Musk and Tim Cook is there, too. We've seen all sorts of politicians in both parties getting settled. Soon, the introductions will come as President-elect Trump will enter the rotunda. Along with us is CBS's Christopher Cruz. Trump has promised a busy day one with executive orders, and information on them, Chris, is emerging.
Steve, we're told anywhere from 100 to 200 executive actions, including those executive orders, will be signed. He'll declare an emergency at the southern border. Possibly he'll pardon some of the January 6th, those who were convicted of crimes on January 6th. Increase fossil fuel development, declaring a national emergency on the southern border, and reduced civil service protections for some senior federal employees. But I do have to think that in this town, the name of the game is laws, getting them through Congress, and we have to be careful not to emphasize too much the power and long-standingness of these executive actions, Steve.
Chris, thanks. Linda Kenyon covers the White House for us, and this morning President Biden, Linda, made some news of his own with a last round of pardons.
He certainly did. Now, it's not unusual for a president on their last day of office to issue pardons or clemencies, but these were unusual. For example, he pardoned Dr. Anthony Fauci, retired General Mark Milley, and members of the House committee that investigated the January 6th attack on the Capitol. In doing so, he released a statement that said, basically, he felt that he had to do this, and referencing Donald Trump's own warning of having an enemies list filled with those who he felt were his political enemies or for some reason had crossed him in the past. And he has stocked his cabinet with nominees. He did back a lot of his election misinformation that he spread, and the fact that he never really conceded that he lost the last election. Now, one of the things President Biden said is, and I'm going to quote, he said, "These are exceptional circumstances, and I cannot in good conscience do nothing." Now, the pardons do not mean that they were going to face crimes. They have not been criminally charged in any way. They maybe never would have, but President Biden said even when individuals have done nothing wrong and, in fact, have done the right thing and will ultimately be exonerated, the mere fact of being investigated or prosecuted can irreparably damage reputations and finances. General Mark Milley, who released a statement after hearing of his pardon, did say that he very much appreciated this. He said, with my years left on